everyone, welcome to Rectum. Sean here. This is formerly Sean's page. I'm not going to mention that in too many more videos, but for the time being I'm going to say it's formerly Sean's page. It's now called Rectum. Before we get going, please click subscribe. This is a great time to click subscribe. It really helps me if you click subscribe in a number of ways, not the least of which is I know you want to hear more content. I know you want to see more. I keep creating. I want to put out at least 2 videos per week, maybe more. Eventually I'd like to get out many more videos. We got different studio setups and different things going on. So try to do at least 2 per week. And while we're at clicking subscribe and new videos, if you click the little bell icon, you'll get notifications whenever I put up new content. So that being said, go ahead, please click subscribe. Take this second right now to do that, and we'll move along. I want to talk about something that's very near and dear to my heart, to your heart, and that something is children and school shootings. February 14th, 2018 brought us another school shooting. And I want to ask, I'm just going to ask this and put it out. I'm not going to talk about my political affiliation, your political affiliation, anybody's political affiliation. I just want to talk about the school shootings and us, because this is an issue that affects all Americans. Have you had enough? Ask yourself, have you really had enough? I've had enough. Have our politicians had enough? And that, I think, is a super serious question. Have they had enough? Politicians know how to protect themselves. They know the benefit of metal detectors and armed guards, don't they? You try to go by a courthouse, a prison, the Capitol. You'll see armed guards. You'll see metal detectors. They will protect themselves at your expense. Of course, we pay for their protection. But why aren't they giving this protection to the children? And I've called and asked. I'm active, I want to know. I've called my politicians and said, hey, can the school in my neighborhood borrow your metal detectors? So far, no. Well, I'll be darned. So far, no. We're not asking for much, just afford our children the same protection you afford yourselves. Or take all the protection away from yourself so everyone is equal. You don't have metal detectors and armed guards, and neither do the kids. The kids already don't have them. How about nobody has them, or everybody has them? We often hear of this common sense gun reform. This is driving me crazy. As if the gun committed the crimes. Your politicians do the condescending knuckle point and tell us, of course you must be in favor of common sense gun reform. Don't you just love it when the people elected to serve you patronize you with things like terms like common sense? Like if you don't agree with them, you must not possess common sense. I don't agree with them, and I do possess common sense. Many of you, I presume, don't agree with them and possess common sense. So I propose common sense political reform. Get it? Our politicians and police are held accountable for mass shootings. They have the kids in their care. They should protect them. So it's pretty simple. Let's explain. When a madman walks into a school with one of these and shoots people, this is an AR-15. This is what was used in the February 18th shooting. These are huge. And they go out and they shoot people. The principal, the superintendent, the Department of Education, your Congress, your governor, all the way up the political chain should be held accountable. He actually walked in with one of these. I don't even have words for that. How do you walk in with one of these? You know, I've got a door to my house, and I stop people from, I've actually never stopped someone from walking in with one of these. But if someone were to be knocking on my door, coming at my door with one of these, I wouldn't open the door. So let's think about it for a minute. If you don't put a seatbelt on your child and you're in a collision and he or she is injured, you're accountable. If your child is sick and you don't seek medical attention, you're accountable. And yet, when the government goes door to door, neighborhood to neighborhood, collecting children, and they put them in a school, and harm is inflicted on the children in the government's care, they're not held accountable. This is bothering you? You. No knuckle point. You. This should bother you. Just give it a little bit of thought. If you have a birthday party and a kid gets hurt at your house during your birthday party, you are held accountable. You have policies in your homeowner's insurance to pay for lawsuits and medical expenses for injuries occurred in your yard. The government doesn't have to worry about it. Why? What's the government worried about? I'll show you. This plate. When we go to the schools, we get this plate. No education on guns, firearm safety, none of that. We get a plate to tell us how much food we should eat, how much grain we should have, how much meat we should have. That's what they're interested in. So for now, how about some rectum common sense? Some common sense children protection with a real point and really asking you, the government, and you, the viewer, to forward this to the government. Really, a real point. Not a knuckle point, but a real point. 1. Hold those in charge of the children accountable for the children's safety. So easy. You have the kids, guard them. Metal detectors at entrances. Guards at entrances. Police at entrances. I'm not really crazy about the arming the teachers kind of a thing unless they go through police training. Maybe not pulling over speeders and that kind of stuff and conducting door-to-door searches, but real police tactics. And people that really want to be deputized, in a sense. Fit people who can carry and who can do something. Gun-free zones don't apply to those with CCW permits. People who have gone through FBI background checks, have been fingerprinted, got a permit to carry a concealed weapon, can carry at school. Those of you who don't have one can't carry. This is like the element of surprise. If you're walking through a school thinking about shooting a lot of people, you don't know which parent picking up their kid is armed. And it has been vetted. Is a good guy. There's lots of them out there. So do that. Regular fingerprinting. So people who have guns and can legally own and carry a gun and have had background checks don't have to lock their guns in their cars. I think together we can stop the school shootings. And I think together we can just have some rectum common sense. And just apply a few little rules like guarding the kids, monitoring the doors, and this can end. Controlling inanimate objects, I don't think is the solution. I think controlling the behaviors of people and people coming in and out of schools, ID badges on people, IDs for parents, maybe badges to scan doors to open classrooms. That should be what's going on. Lock all the classrooms and put a buzzer outside. Simple little things. And do those things now. Don't attack the guns. They have not killed people. Bad people have killed people. And I think incompetent people have allowed bad people to walk into schools. You, call your politicians right now and ask them for some common sense reforms, like protecting the kids. Thank you for watching. I'm going to cut this off now. I start to ramble, do a lot of talking. I appreciate your time. Go ahead and forward this, like it, give a thumbs down if you need to, comment on the bottom. I want everyone to see this. I'm going to delete profanities and people that want to say stuff. If you want to say I'm stupid, that's fine. Just don't drop F-bombs, stupid. I want kids to read it and kids to understand, hey, we're sitting here unprotected. You kids, get up and ask your teachers, hey, where's the metal detectors? Get involved. Talk to the people. You are allowed to talk to them. You are the boss. You are in charge. So I'm asking you, please, do something. Just give a call. Send an email. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to be back with some cool reviews and other things, but this is just one of those things that drives me absolutely crazy. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.